Hey there, it's Sheridan LeBay back with another Marketing Mondays. Hopefully y'all are doing well. We are in fall, or like Suedo fall. If you're in Houston like I am, it's like fake fall. It's like the fall where you leave the house wearing a jacket and then by like 3 o'clock, you're almost naked. So yeah, we are in fall. It's just crazy that like we've been in the house most of 2020, but everything with a purpose and with design. So speaking of being in the house, I wanted to do like a little story time, like chit chat about mental health, like being an entrepreneur and mental health. I feel like it's just such a huge thing. It's a huge thing we don't talk about a lot. We do, but we don't. Like mental health is definitely a big thing that a lot of people are paying more attention to now, but I still feel like in some areas we talk about it almost because it's trendy versus like actually dealing with our mental health. So for me, where do I start? So I feel like mental health is a good topic or something that needs to be talked about more, because as entrepreneurs, no matter what age you are, but definitely special shout out to the millennials, because I think this applies to us for sure. We're in that generation where it's like social media is such a thing. And, you know, we can get on social media and get on Twitter and get on Instagram and we think we're doing great. And then we get on there and then somebody's like, oh, I just made 100K in a day. Or, oh, I have 30,000 followers. Oh, I just went to Dubai. Like, and then all of a sudden you're in this downward spiral of like, feeling not good enough. And it happens to all of us. Like it happens to me, and I've had to like limit my time on social media sometimes because I'm like, today I'm just not really feeling it, and I don't really need a reminder of like that I'm not where I want to be necessarily in certain areas. So yeah, I think that, so for me, what managing my mental health or like taking care of my mental health has looked like has varied up and down as I go through entrepreneurship. So when I first started off as an entrepreneur back in 2014, when I first graduated from college, young, like full of energy. So of course, like back then you're just like, I'm hitting the ground running. Like I'm at work doing work for my business. I'll work on my business when I get home. Tired for what? Like I was 21. So I'm about to be 28 now. Energy level is totally different. Super excited about my business. And I would say as the years progressed, my energy or my drive towards my business grew. So I would be at work thinking about my business. I would get off work, working on business stuff until I got tired. And then even working on weekends, like all the time. Just never had really like a work-life balance between like my business and work and like my personal life. And so burnout is real. Like burnout is definitely a real thing. And so started my business in 2014. I would say around 2015, 2016, I was like deep in my business. Like I eat, sleep, breathe. Eat, sleep, breathe. Eat, sleep, breathe. One of those two. I eat, sleep, breathe my business. And to the point of like the relationship I was in at the time, like that became an issue because, you know, he wanted to spend more time with me. And I was like, I'm trying to go to business. I don't have time for that. Not really just having like a balance of like what that looks like, because there was no blueprint for it. Like a lot of us are learning to be entrepreneurs from people we follow on social media or just learning as we go. So around 2016, 2017, I was deep in my business. And at some point, I feel like I reached a burnout. I don't know what year that was. I would probably say a couple of years ago, where I was just like, what I'm doing is not working. Like, I'm not able to fully give my relationship attention, which in hindsight, like, I wasn't giving it as much attention as they wanted, but it was also like, I'm trying to build a business. Like, I think there's a happy medium with that too. But I was just like, I was tired. I was tired, and I was like, I'm a big advocate for like working harder and not, working smarter. Working smarter and not harder. So I was definitely like, okay, what can I do to like figure this out, right? So for me, what that looked like was the job I was working at the time. I just started managing my time at work. As we know, most of us work 9 to 5s where it does not require a full 8 hours of work. Most people are not working the whole 8 hours they're there. They're probably working 4 or 5 at the most. So I started maximizing my time at work. It's like, okay, I know I can get these tasks done in 2 hours. I can spend the other 2-3 hours working on my business. Or sometimes I would do like an hour of work for work and then like 30 minutes of work for my business and then just like rotate it like that. So that was really big for me. And even recently, that's kind of the model that I have now. But mental health is like even bigger. Like it's even bigger now because I have this work-life balance, but it's also like there's so many other mental factors that go into it. So it's like trying to balance having like I say like a lot today. Sorry guys, I've had a long day and I was like, I have to get this video done. But having a mental balance for me is not having like a social media curfew. So recently I'm like, okay, after 10 o'clock, I'm not checking social media. I'm not checking social media before 7 o'clock. Being mindful of who I follow. So if I follow somebody and their posts, whatever they're posting, it makes me feel some kind of way, whether I feel like they're being condescending or them constantly talking about business makes me feel overwhelmed, I mute them for a while or I unfollow them. I set daily goals for myself. I set micro goals within my business so that I'm not overwhelming myself during the day. So if I know my goal for the week is to file my LLC, day 1 may be, okay, let me set up an account. Day 2 may be, let me fill out the paperwork. Day 3 may be, let me submit the paperwork. So breaking everything down into micro goals versus, oh, I have this big presentation to do. Let me try to knock it out all in 1 week or all in 1 day, breaking it down into individual days. So like there's a presentation I have due for a client soon, and one day I literally was like, I'm just gonna spend the day or spend an hour finding different design examples of what I wanna do. And then the next day I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put all the content in there. And the next thing I have to do is organizing the slides and then rebranding the slides for the client. So breaking up our goals into micro goals is a huge life hack, especially for entrepreneurs, especially for those of you who are entrepreneurs and still working your 9 to 5. I promise you, like, that makes all the difference. I have 2 notes on my laptop. So one note is broken up by client and personal life. That's also something I would suggest. I break the notes up by client, and I also have tasks for my personal life because it's easy to forget what you're supposed to do personal goals wise. And I mean, personal could be anything from like make a dentist appointment, hair appointment this week, call my mom. Like I call to my mom every day, but things that you can let slip in the cracks if you don't have it written down. So I'm also doing that. So I have 5 clients and I have my personal life. There'll be a tab that says Untamed, and it'll be 4 or 5 task lists. And they might not even be tasks that I have to get done this week. They're just pending tasks that need to be in there. It could be file my LLC. It could be record a Marketing Mondays video. It could be take out the trash for personal list. It could be book a hair appointment, like things like that. And then what I do is I make a goal. I do my task list the night before the next day, so that I refer to my main list and I'm like, okay, what can I do what's a small task off this list that I can do to further push myself towards this goal? So that's another like mental health life hack, but also like a organization life hack. And then also taking off days. Like we are in 2020, we're in a pandemic. So many crazy things are happening that not even things that don't normally happen, but I feel like we're more sensitive to things happening now than we have been before. That's just the reality of the situation, right? So putting my phone on Do Not Disturb, like in the last month, whether it's been a weekend, sometimes it's a weekday, I literally would put my phone on Do Not Disturb and check it when I feel like it. Because there are days when I literally get overwhelmed seeing notifications pop up on my home screen. And I get distracted. Like, I don't think I have ADD or anything, but I literally can get distracted. If I see a notification come up about an email, my brain is like, oh, I have to attend to whatever they're asking for right now. And that's just not, it's not beneficial for productivity, right? Every time I'm working on a task and then something pops up and I'm like, oh, let me respond back to this email, I'm not getting anything done. I would probably say one day out of the week, my phone is on Do Not Disturb until I decide to take it off and I feel less overwhelmed. This past weekend, I did it for a whole weekend. And of course I was checking my phone. It wasn't like my phone was on Do Not Disturb and then I just didn't check it. I was checking my phone when I felt like it. So I would still like be able to respond to people if it was something that needed to be responded to, but it was on my own terms versus having all of our notifications on and your phone is running you at the end of the day. If your phone's not on Do Not Disturb, your phone is running you. So every time you get a notification, every time you get a text message, it's like triggering something in your brain to respond or get distracted. So that's something else that I do. And just being truthful about where you are. So I would say the last thing that I would suggest or just leave you with is, if you don't have the capacity to do something, just say it. I'm in a place now with my clients and my business and my personal life where I'm like, I can't do that. I can get that to you by Friday. I can do it next week. I don't have time for this conference call today. I'm off today. Like, just saying that. And if your friends, family, or clients can understand that, then they don't need to be here, right? And I know that's probably harsher truth to hear, like when it comes to family and friends, or maybe it's harsher to hear for clients because we're motivated by pleasing our clients and we want to, our clients are paying us, right? But at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. Like, even with me and my team, we communicate. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be MIA tomorrow, y'all. If y'all need something, text me and let me know. If it's urgent, I'll respond, but I'm not going to be responding instantaneously. I've had some of my team members tell me, hey, I'm really stressed out at work, in life, and I have all these things going on. I need help. I'm not going to be available. And just being honest about that. Like, I am all for crushing goals. Like, I am #goalsbae, right? But I've learned, and I wouldn't say the older I get, but it is kind of the older I get, that my health is a priority over everything, my mental health. And that means telling people no. That means rescheduling. That means turning my phone off. That means putting my phone on Do Not Disturb. That means saying, hey, I can't have this back to you today because you just told me 2 hours ago you needed something. It's not urgent. And recognizing within your business what's urgent and what's not. Some things are urgent. Some things, like that email, can wait till tomorrow. That social media post can wait till tomorrow. That flyer can wait till tomorrow. There are very few things that I have come across in business that have to be handled today that are last minute things that can't wait till tomorrow. Very few things, very. So I just urge that, and I wanted to reiterate that, and I guess it's a reminder to myself as well. Mental health is huge, and we are not our best selves when we don't optimize our mental health and we don't put our mental health as a priority. It's not easy. It's not easy telling people no. It's not easy putting off a client till next month because you don't have the bandwidth for it. Those things aren't easy, but you know what else is not easy? Mental breakdowns, depression, burnout, all of those things. And I talked about this on my email list. If you're on my email list, I kind of talked about it a little bit a couple weeks ago. I was getting to the point where I was trying to manage like doing work, my business, also fitting in working out. Like being back in the office has been really just kind of like blah for me, energy wise. And so I've been experimenting with taking different like either natural energy drinks or natural focus shots. And I just can't do it. I did it all 1 week straight. And by the time Friday got here, because my body's not used to really like consuming that much caffeine in 1 week, and it was only 60 milligrams. It was a very natural shot, but it was like 60 milligrams every day for a week. And my body, by the time I got to Friday, I was like done. Like I crashed. Like I slept for probably 13 hours, like off and on. Like I got home at 4, caught up on some shows, ordered some food, which makes me so hungry thinking about the wings that I've ordered, but ordered some food and took a couple of naps and then went to sleep. And then probably the next day didn't get up to like, I got up at 8 because I went to the gym. Crazy, right? Got up at 8 to go to the gym. But we have to prioritize our health. Like, we have to, whatever that looks like. Even with my full-time job, like I have normalized telling people I'm not available. This cannot be done today because you waited until 2 o'clock to tell me that you needed something. That email is not a priority. It can get done tomorrow. Period. What are you gonna do, right? So I just want to say that because I know I have people that will like comment on my posts or DM me and they're like, I don't know how you do it. And sometimes I don't know how to do it either. But I do get sleep for the most part. Being back at work, I'm definitely still trying to get in the rhythm because I'm naturally a night owl. I would much rather prefer to work until 2 o'clock in the morning and sleep till 10 and go work out in the middle of the day. That's not the way this world works. And until I work for myself full time, that is not my world. But just wanted to spread that message because I know people talk about it all the time, imposter syndrome, goals, things of that nature. And I don't think we can reiterate it enough that none of us are goals. I mean, we're goals. Like, yes, I definitely want to be inspirational to others, but it takes work. And it also, like, I prioritize sleep and my health too. So thank y'all for tuning in. Of course, always, I am so grateful for each and every view. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to get some sleep tonight. Be sure to tell somebody no this weekend that you can't do something because you matter. Your mental health matters. Your peace of mind matters. And there are very few things in the world that are worth you risking your mental health for and your physical health for. So thank you so much for listening. I am probably going to go to sleep after this video. But I did make a promise to myself to get this video done. So one of those things where it was like my makeup said I want to do it. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. And if you have any suggestions or things you want me to talk about, feel free to DM me, email me. I'm always looking for suggestions. I love talking about business stuff, but I also have so many other things that I could talk about as well, and I'm open to those ideas. So thank you again. This is Sheridan LeBay with House of Untamed, and until next time.